I love when coaches, consultants, and professional service providers want to do big things in their business. They want to rise to the top and influence their market and the world around them. They want to have a greater impact and make a more lucrative income. Well, if this is you, welcome to Expert in You podcast, the show where I interview other experts and coaches, consultants, so that they can share their success strategies with you. We're going to talk about marketing and how to close more sales, how to get more premium clients, and how to really build your visibility in the market and scale your business like a boss. If this is you, welcome to the show. I want to ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell right now so you don't miss one episode. Grab your coffee and buckle up because we are ready to give it all to you to help you become the expert and get paid as the expert that you are. Hi, everyone. I want to welcome you back to another episode of Expert in You podcast. I'm your host, Ann Carden, and oh my goodness, do I have a guest for you this week. I am so excited to have Mac Attram with me. Mac, welcome to my show.
Hi, Ann. Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Well, I know you are going to bring massive gold. So just a little bit of background about Mac. He is actually the British multimillionaire. He went from 100K in debt to financially free in 18 months. So I cannot wait to dive into his story. And he is just going to share so much with you. Also, he's the author of 4 books. He's an international speaker and trainer for small business owners. And he loves working with self-employed solopreneurs who really want to build a business with a stronger foundation and has more success. And I should just say he has also shared the stage with Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, who else? Les Brown. Who else am I missing?
Nick Vujicic, no arms, no legs. Tom Hopkins, the sales guru. Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker. Yeah, and many, many more.
Amazing. So, Mac, just thank you so much for being here. And let's dive in. So you have to tell my listeners, how did you go from 100K in debt to becoming financially free in 18 months, becoming a multimillionaire? How did you do it? Tell us your story.
All right. So let me tell you what happened then. From what happened many years ago, I was running my small computer company, and it was a time when I was only newly married. And so I started a business, and actually we started off as a internet web design e-commerce company, and then at some point our client said, can you help us with our computer systems and computer networks? But I'll tell you a story around that. Anyway, after a short while after I started a business and working on my own, I had two business partners who joined me. One said he's going to take care of sales and marketing. We can work together. He's going to do all of that for great. I don't have to do that. I can oversee the business. And then as our clients were demanding more and more from us, we became this one-stop shop for anything related to our, IT and computer systems. And so he brought another chap who was great at computer installations. He had all the qualifications. So it was great. Business was moving forward. Just about 2 years down the line, one of the first chap says, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. And he then gives up and stops working with us. And then shortly afterwards, the second guy disappears. Now I've only been married for a few short years. My wife is pregnant at that time with our second child. And now I find myself working 18 hours a day, 19 hours a day, not seeing much of my young family. We had one, Tiana was about 3 years old then. And so I'm working all these hours because both have disappeared. And what I haven't said to you is so the second guy, when he disappears, I'll go to his house. I'm ringing the bell, no answer. I'm phoning him, no answer. And I'm asking other people who know both of us, have you seen him? Yeah, he's around. So I realized he was avoiding me. Well, going through the papers, going through everything, I realized we are now heavily in debt because of what they had done and siphoned a lot of money from the business. Now I owe money to creditors.
Oh my.
I'm stressed out now, family-wise, business-wise, money-wise. So I have to now, I'm borrowing money on credit cards, on loans, just to make sure we can pay our staff and so I can continue running the business, pay our creditors. Now, personal money, 100 grand in debt that I now need to find. And the whole thing took its toll on my health. One evening, driving home from my office, which was about an hour and 90 minutes away, 5 minutes from my home, I stopped my car in this, we call it a shopping car park. You call it parking lot, right? Parking lot.
Right. Right.
Right. So I parked at this parking lot and I sat there with my hands on the wheels, parked up, and all I remember, it was falling into this state of, I don't know what was going on, but sobbing and feeling sorry for myself, thinking that I'm such a failure in terms of my questions in my head was, how did I get here where I'm not enjoying my life? I'm heavily in debt. I owe people money. It looks like my wife's going to leave me because we just arguing all the time. She's pregnant. I'm hardly at home. Hardly see much of my first child. And as I sat there, I was just looking for answers, but I'm not a bad person. So that evening, as I got home, it was all a blur. But all I remembered was this: how do successful people do business? How do they become successful? How do they create wealth? And so in my head, I'm saying it's certainly something I don't know. I've got to go and discover this. So I went on this journey of self-discovery. I started reading books on these subjects. I started going to little workshops in London, then seminars. And as I went through that process, within the 18 months of me sitting in that car, feeling sorry for myself, I learned strategies around business, around wealth, around personal development. And I fixed my business and I sold my business. And what happened was also, in parallel to that, I learned real estate strategies. And I started acquiring real estate property using Robert Allen's technique, which was no money down. Because I'm in debt, I've got no money, but I was willing to work hard to get. So my real estate property business allowed me to create enough cash flow for me to say, hey, I'm going to fix my business, sell it. And yeah, I was able to do all of that in 18 months of hard slog because I didn't want to continue like that. So at the age of, I'm 50 something now, I'm 53. And, but at the age of 36, that financial freedom happened. 18 months from there, I was a millionaire. Another year, 2 years, my millions keeps increasing because of what I've been doing, what I've learned. So cut a long story short, that's what happened.
That is so amazing. I want to hit on a few things here. And
Sure.
This is that the one thing you did is you really looked within and you said, okay, how do people do this? How do people create wealth? So many people just stay stuck or they become a victim and they don't look or seek something better, or they settle for their situation or they quit. And you just didn't do that. And I resonate with that so much because it is so similar to my story as well. And I love that you just didn't give up and you dug in and you said, I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to do it. And you started working on growth, not just learning business strategies and all of that, but you started growing yourself. And that is such a huge, huge piece for people to really understand. It takes both. You have to understand business and marketing and sales, but you also have to understand personal growth, because that is what will take you to the top of the mountain. So, oh my gosh, such an amazing story. So how did you end up on stages with some of the biggest names out there that people are familiar with in today's market?
Fantastic. Great question, Ann. Ann, it's a lot of these people, the Robert Kiyosaki, Anthony Robbins, Blair Singer, T. Harv Eker, all these, I study their stuff. I read their books. I went to their seminars. T. Harv Eker changed my life. Robert Kiyosaki changed my life financially. So what happened was I implemented these things, and I had an opportunity to, as these people were coming into the UK, I just went out to help, to support them. And then the couple who were my friends now, Richard and Veronica Tan, who run the world's largest seminar company, because I was just going out to help them, just giving of my time, I found myself, they said, look, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you help? And I found myself on stages just doing little workshops for them. And then eventually, can you come to Holland? Can you come to Germany? Can you come to this? And now, 12 years later, I've been working with them now in over 50 countries and trained and coached hundreds of thousands of people because I was just giving at the beginning. So one of the things I learned from one of my mentors, Blair Singer and T.R. Becker, in fact, was how to speak in front of, because I wasn't a communicator. And in order to speak in front of the rooms, I would be sweating. I'll be nervous. My knees would be shaking. But they gave me the techniques on how to present, and that really helped. So that was 18 years ago now, 2005, around that time. And so when I learned those techniques, I started to train people in London in small business, and then several years later, supporting other speakers as they were coming in. And then eventually found myself not only speaking locally in London, but nationally in the UK, then internationally.
So great. I love this. So how did you, and I love the fact that you talked about you weren't a good speaker, you weren't a communicator, and you had to learn that. A lot of people think that speaking is something that's very natural, and they don't realize there's skills that can be learned, and you can overcome that fear. And when you do that, it opens so many doors of opportunities. And I say you're really going to be set up for life if you know how to build relationships, communicate, and speak, because you can go out and make money today if you know how to speak, right? You just get in front of people. And so when you're building a business, it's one of the main strategies that I teach my clients is what I call scalable speaking. So there's lots of ways to do speaking that's scalable. And it's just such an important piece because then they have control over their business and their fate. And it builds such a strong brand as well and builds incredible relationships. Just like I was on your podcast. Yes. And that's how we got to know each other. And so it's just things like this. And then you just make new friends along the way. So I love that you brought that up. How did you get into doing what you're doing now with business owners? And then I would love for you to talk about the program that you actually have and sort of your method.
Sure. Yeah. Very, very good. Great question. How did I get involved? What happened when I learned how to speak and I started running these small workshops, I targeted small business owners. But by that time, I had fixed my business. I think I was in the process of selling it. But then people were asking me, hey, Matt, can you help me with my business? Hey, Matt, and I really didn't know the coaching industry. I didn't know people get paid for this. And I soon realized that, yes, all the free information I'm giving, I actually can start running workshops already.
Right.
So that's what I started doing. I started running workshops in London and started to coach people. So that's what happened. But I was very specific in terms of the type of people I wanted to work with, because I thought, I'll tell you this, Anne, when I was going through my breakdown financially and emotionally, and I was sitting in the car and, sometimes I would, that around that time, I remember I'll pray and I'll be looking for answers. And when my situation changed financially, I remember writing down what I believe my life mission is. And it became very clear to me. And it became this: to inspire, educate, and empower people to live a life of joy, courage, passion, and purpose. So since 2005, I've lived by that. Everything I do is around my life mission, my big picture, my why, as Simon Sinek says. I was doing that before Simon Sinek's book, because knowing my why, knowing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I found, it actually is driven me down the right line. And it's driven me to, okay, so if I'm there to inspire, educate, and empower people, how am I going to do that? And so writing books, doing videos, doing these podcasts, meeting awesome people like Ann Carden. So it's just everything. It just makes me more resourceful. And then running workshops fits into that. And for me, the target was people who had probably gone through what I went through. I don't want people to go through the same thing. So small business owners who really need to set up their business correctly, so they can spend more time with their family. They can have time for vacation. They can, do the things that can go alongside of their business, so their business doesn't consume them. They can enjoy their business and enjoy their life as well.
So good. And again, it's so crazy to me, Mac, how similar our stories are. That is exactly where my heart comes from, to help people too. It's like, because of what I have been through in business for 32 years, and the pitfalls and the mistakes and the blood, sweat, and tears, I like to say. Right. People can now build wealth faster than ever before. They can have a business. Business can change their life. I know you and I talked about this on your show. Yeah. And this is just truly where my heart comes from too. And so we are so aligned with our philosophies and our beliefs and our value system. And I love that so much. So tell us about your program and your method and how you help people.
Sure. We have a program, and it's based around what we call the business wealth system. And the business wealth system is, there's two ways to build your business. Okay. There's two types of businesses, rather. That's what I say. One is a business that is just for a lifestyle. You're doing this thing. It pays you some money. You can pay your bills. You can look after your family. It's just a lifestyle. You can work your life around it. Then the other type of business is you're building it to become an asset.
Yes.
A wealthy asset. So if you want to have a business for a lifestyle, you don't really need me. You can do that on your own.
Right.
But if you want to build a wealthy business asset, which later on you can sell, or you can put a general manager in place to run it while you do other things that you may be even more passionate about, you can do that. And the reason why I say build a business as an asset is because ultimately, if something happened to you, what happens to your business? And if you say to me that, hey, if I'm in hospital for 2 months, my business is shut down. If I go on vacation for 2 weeks, there is no business. Then we need to fix that if you want to build a business for assets. So the business wealth system that I developed and trademarked is looking at 6 core areas of your business that we have to master and fix in order for you to have the kind of freedom that you might want. Okay. And these 6 core areas cover the fundamentals of business, including how to market. In other words, bringing leads in, creating awareness in the marketplace, how to sell. In other words, how to convert those prospects into paying clients. Okay. How to set up the right processes and systems in your business so the whole business doesn't become reliant on you. How to put the right team in place. Because often when you start your business, you may eventually have an assistant and maybe other people, but how do you know who to bring on at what stage of your business? And so they're going to follow the system because if you don't have a system, you are the system, right? So we show people how to create the right systems. So we talk about team, finance, and cash flow, right? Managing that money. So the business wealth system is all encompassing. We take people from over a year to, typically our clients will grow their business anywhere from 20% to 100% in less than 1 year, because usually they don't have anything in place. They're firefighting. So once they start following our systems, things start changing for them.
So good. Yes, those are absolutely. Now, you didn't have mindset in there.
Mindset is number 6.
Okay. I didn't hear you say. I was taking notes to see if you said anything that I also didn't know or don't believe in. But mindset is a huge piece. And I know when I wrote my first book, that was the first chapter in my book, is having a success mindset. Because you probably experienced this too. When I started my first business, and that was out of financial hardship as well.
Yeah, I remember the story.
When my 4-year-old needed shoes. But I realized as I learned about business and got into business, that I was in the mindset of growing my business, but I wasn't in the mindset of success.
and they're two very different things.
Yeah.
And when I shifted my mindset and I started thinking about success and a bigger vision, that's when everything started changing in my business. And all of a sudden, all of my actions changed, my decisions changed. Everything that I did was to support that vision and that bigger picture. So I think mindset is just such a huge piece.
Mindset is critical, and I have coaches around the world who coach our clients, because we have international clients, not only from the UK. And what makes us different from a lot of business coaches, there's a lot of great good business coaches out there, including yourself, is that everything we do, but we'll provide you the business strategies, the tactics, and all the rest of it. But underpinning that is all the mindset stuff, because if we can't get this right, and you're just going to sabotage your own success. And we've seen that. So we always start from the base of mindset. So I'm happy you said that. And as one of my mentors said years ago, what did he say? He said, your business and your wealth can only grow to the extent that you grow.
That's true.
Your business and wealth can only grow to the extent that you grow. So that's always stuck with me. And that's the reason why we fundamentally, it's mindset. Anyone can teach you the mechanics and everything, but if you get this right, everything becomes much, much easier.
Yes, absolutely. If you had to say one thing, of course, outside of mindset, but if you had to say one thing that could have the most impact in someone's success, what would you say that is?
Know what your mission is, know what your purpose is. The reason why I say that, Anne, is because for me, certainly, and for a lot of our clients who we work with, once you know what the mission you're on is, and we are all on a personal mission, as well as your business has its own mission, right? So you've got your own personal life mission. You've got to discover what that is. And I think we all given these, every one of us has a clue what that is, but some people stay away from it and they find themselves, becoming an accountant when they really should be a performing dancer or something. Find out what your mission is. And also from that, also understand what the vision looks like, what the future looks like for your business or for yourself. By understanding that, what happens is this: I think you become more resourceful.
Yes.
When the challenges come up, you realize, hey, actually, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be, not that. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
So that becomes your guiding principle, your guiding light, your guiding, your sat-nav, your satellite navigation system to where you're trying to go. And that's what I found, and that's what our clients find as well. So mission and vision, definitely.
So when you sat in the car and you, just everything kind of came crashing down, what was the very first thing that you came across or did? What book, and did you have the internet at that time? Because when I first started in business, I didn't have all the tools we have today. I can't even imagine if I would have.
Yeah, this was 1999. So when my breakdown, I started my business in 99, 2003, when things were going south. I mean, it was bad. But the internet was available.
Okay.
The internet.
Well, you were kind of in the tech space, you said, so you probably knew about the internet way before I did, because I think it was much later.
Exactly, but there was limited information on the internet. But what there was is I just I think, what's the first thing I did? I started to read books. I think I would have gone and bought some books. I remember those days, one of the very first books that I read that really changed things for me was Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That was my very first book that changed my mindset too. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, because I remember that sticks out a lot. And I've read a lot of his books since then, including the Cash Flow Quadrant. And, Robert, I've done 12 international tours with. So I've had breakfast with him. I've had lunch. I've had dinner with him. I've heard it from the horse's mouth. I know he lives by these principles. But I'm so grateful that I was a student of his back then, before I became friends or before I started traveling around the world with all these people. So in answer to your question, it was, I think it was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And then there was lots of different books around personal development, around business growth, business development. I studied with different teachers,
right?
Including Chet Holmes, who's no longer with us now. Blair Singer, who's a great mentor of mine. So for me, what was the first thing? I found books, and I started devouring books.
Yes.
And then workshops after that.
Yeah, I love it. I remember Jim Rohn. I bought this huge box of CDs. I think it was like 10 CDs. And when I would drive back and forth to my business, and every chance I got, those CDs were in my car player, right? Listening to those. And then when I bought Robert Kiyosaki's book, I mean, that book was probably the most eye-opening to me. And I think it was also between that and Jim Rohn, it's where I really got my hunger to like really dive into get good in business and marketing and sales and all of those things. So I think it's always fun to know.
You mentioned that. I started, I think I may have ordered something by mail order by Brian Tracy. Something about achievement.
Yes,
and like you,
it's in the car. Too. Yes, I have binders of CDs and books and yes. Oh my goodness, I don't have them at this office. I have them at my home office. But oh my gosh, I have so much stuff. It is just crazy, but so much value from those old guys.
Definitely.
So much value. This has been so much fun. I could talk to you all day, Mac. I know we're going to have to do this again. So
no problem at all.
This has been really, really fun. So how can people get a hold of you? And then if they're, interested in working with you, what would be the next step for them?
Awesome. So if you're a small business owner, solopreneur, or coach, consultant, or a professional working hard in your business, realizing that actually there's a better way, reach out, go to my website, macattram.com. That's MAC. Attram is ATTRAM.com. And you remember I talked about the business wealth system. I've also created a free quiz. So you could actually go in there, do the free quiz, see which area of your business you may be lacking on or having challenges with, and then you need to focus on that to fix that. But you'll get a report on the quiz and covering these 6 areas that I mentioned earlier on. So do that free quiz or reach out to me. Let's see how we can help.
And he's super nice to talk to. So, Mac, did you mention you have a certification program as well? When I was on your podcast?
For our coaches, those who become coaches with us go through a certification before they can coach any of our clients.
Okay.
Outside of that, we run group coaching programs. We run one-on-one coaching programs, and I run a business boot camp, 3-day boot camp. One's coming up in July, which is virtual online, so you can dial in from anywhere in the world. And then we run Millionaire business retreats where we take our clients away to amazing places like Bali or Marrakesh in Morocco. And for 5 days, we are just together, eating healthily, working out together, doing business together. And I'm just helping people strategize their business ready to go again for the next 6 months.
I love it. How many people typically go on those retreats with you?
We keep it less than 20.
I love that. Okay, so good. Mac, I can't thank you enough for being here with me. This has been amazing, sharing all of your knowledge and your wisdom. And I'm just so grateful you were here. So thank you so much.
Hey, Ann, thank you for inviting me. A real pleasure to talk to you again.
Yes, absolutely. So everyone, thank you so much. Reach out to Mac. We'll put all of his links in the show notes, so you'll be able to grab those and go connect with him. Mac, are you on LinkedIn and some of the social media channels?
Yeah, I'm on most of the social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Yeah, reach out. You can send me a message. Let me know.
Fantastic. We'll put those links in the show notes as well. So you'll have everything there to be able to connect with Mac. So again, thank you, everyone. And if you need help, reach out to him, connect. I know he is just he will change your life. So I am so grateful that you're here. Make sure you like or share this podcast. Sharing is caring, right? And share it with someone else that can use this. So go rock your business, and God bless you all.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
If you've enjoyed this episode, I want to invite you to go check out a free training that I have at expertinu.us. It is a training that I have on how you can get ultra premium dream clients, scale your business, get more freedom, and really simplify your business and multiply your money. So go check that out. And again, that is expertinu.us. I want to thank you for being here with me this week. I hope you found massive value. Please always leave a comment, feedback, or a question. We check them all. And I want you to go rock your business, and make sure you join us again next week. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.